Hey, but yeah,
stop doing that. You stop screaming people here, bro. Don't do that.
yeah, Austin. I was just telling
That's
Jake
not
how.
funny. You do it every time we start.
What? Do what?
Hey, hey,
You
Austin.
scream
Before
at the
you
start
got.
of the show.
Oh yeah, that's how you started.
Hey, Austin. Before
Yeah,
you
but it's
got
not
here.
when you're in people's ears.
Hey, Austin. Before you got here, I was just mentioning to Jake how sad it is to see a king without followers.
Bro, the whole animal
Not really.
follows him.
Hmm. A one-man kingdom. Oh, guess who gets their own legion of
It,
followers by the end?
He doesn't need it.
Godzilla has followers. That's the whole point of King of the Monsters.
Yeah, they follow
No,
his. They don't.
he
He
just
doesn't.
comes and
Listen,
beats them up every now and then, man. He
listen.
doesn't give a crap
Yeah,
about
that's
them.
how you do realize that's how most kingdoms are started, right? Because the guy went and
Hmm.
conquered other people.
Listen, Cryptic. He doesn't need an army. He just needs to
Hmm.
know that they'll bow before him when they ask. When he asks, okay? That's it.
Well, Kong has something Godzilla doesn't from his followers. Their respect.
That's
Yeah,
wrong. That's factually wrong. He has the other people respect. He beat it into them.
yeah.
That's fear. All right.
Yeah, and with fear comes respect for a lot of people.
That's how they work in that
You think
kingdom.
people don't? You think people don't respect the Joker because they're scared of him?
Listen, that's how it works in that kingdom.
Boo.
You think people don't respect Batman because he doesn't beat the dog shit out of
Yeah, Batman's whole thing is fear. You don't
Okay.
think people respect Batman?
When push comes to shove, who's going to come to assist Godzilla in this fight? But who's going to come to assist Kong
Let,
in
let,
this
let, me tell
fight?
you. Let me tell you. If Godzilla fights and he needs help, Mothra's gonna come, or he'll just give the Alpha call and wake literally every monster up, and all of them will come.
Yeah, but
Cause that's how that works.
Godzilla rather die than ask for help, though. That's the.
No, he wouldn't.
I don't think he's ever asked for help in his life. I think every time he's gotten help, someone has to come to him. He doesn't ask.
Exactly. They come willingly. That's what it is.
Mhm.
It's not like he said, "No, don't help me."
Oh,
All right.
no. He's not Vegeta, but he don't he won't ask for it. So.
Gotcha. Do, do, do,
Oh, hey
do.
there,
Yeah.
we were talking about Godzilla and Kong.
Yep. Got quite a few fanatics over it.
Yes.
So
I
much
guess.
so that most of us have read a good chunk of the comics.
Mhm. I
No.
guess we
Hey,
should
cool.
introduce ourselves.
Okay.
Name one comic Jake has read.
Thank you.
Exactly. Too late. No. Too late. Too late.
I already said it. Too late.
No. No. You said it too late.
No, it's not. Anyway, my name is
All right.
Jake Talanoff, a Godzilla supporter through and through. Bow to your king.
My name is Cryptid Seeker 415. Kong
Yeah. Wait.
is
Hold on.
tuned
What do
all
you
the
think you
way.
are? Introducing yourself before Cryptid.
Well, when you reviews, I always introduce myself first.
No, you do not.
I do. Go back.
No, you do not.
Listen to the tapes.
I can prove it. The last one you did not do it first.
All right, Cryptic, we'll go back. Audience, put in the
Afterwards.
comments. Cryptic, go ahead.
Yeah, afterwards. Okay, well, I'm Cryptid Seeker 415. Hey, you see, I get two introductions, Jake. Cryptid Seeker 415, King Kong all the way.
I'm Witch of Jotunheim. Pronouns they, he. TikTok witch underscore of underscore Jotunheim. There's also a Twitter handle. I have a Tumblr somewhere. If you find it, you're welcome to it, I guess. But I'm also Ace Comics today.
Yay.
And together,
That's it.
we form the Phanatics, and we talk about the news and reviews. Actually, we're not talking about any of that. Today, we're talking about Godzilla versus X Kong, a new empire. We will also
Versus X Kong, they were dating.
they're coming together super hot. Wow, that's not it.
The triple X will be for the third movie, audience. You'll get the X-rated version before you know it.
This is the second time they come together.
Starring Dom Toretto.
Yes, but together they'll come together to fight a threat that, I mean, honestly, one of them probably could have fought by himself, maybe. but you know,
The worst part is there's an argument that either one could have if Kong played his cards right.
it's true.
The worst part about this movie.
But we will be doing spoilers and spoiler free. Maybe we'll be consistent. We don't know, but just so you know.
How about this? We'll give our first general review. Let's say like 5 minutes each. No, like no spoilers, and then we'll go into
Yeah,
spoilers.
Yes. Okay.
gotcha.
I think we'll go in order from
Intro.
most hype to least hype. Who was very favorable to this movie? Who really enjoyed this film?
I guess it would be me.
I would say I enjoyed this movie, but not as good as the last movie.
Okay, we'll go Austin Cryptid myself.
Hmm.
I guess that's funny. It's funny enough. I think I only enjoyed this movie more than Drake because I also enjoyed the human parts to a degree.
Hmm.
Spoiler for his review, I guess.
Hmm.
But from the beginning of this, okay, I'll do by Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. So the first part with the new addition to the lore, I was iffy on with the little change and stuff. I think the Kong stuff in this movie is great. I think
Hmm.
making this movie a Kong film was to its benefit, but I think, but it's still in a weird situation where Godzilla should have gotten more in certain scenes because of the title alone. So it kind of feels uneven. If that makes
Hmm.
sense. The pacing for this movie is very off, and the scaling
Yeah.
for this movie is kind of bad. I'm pausing to let my thoughts correctly because I always want to say something spoiler. That's where it comes from. Uh, when it comes to characters, all the monsters were great except for one really. The other one wasn't that good either, but I can't fault it directly.
Uh-huh.
Uh, the lore in this movie is not as good as the other one. So if you came for lore, the lore scenes they're okay, but there's clearly like some chunks missing.
Hmm.
And it's like, bro, you gonna have to put this in a comic book or something because I need to figure out what's happening here. 'Cause this sounds dumb. This, if you want just fun, just go see this movie and just I don't know, sleep through the human parts. I guess I enjoyed them, but I think it's a good film overall.
Hmm.
I don't want this director to do another movie though. I don't think this director wants to do a third film. I don't think he should. I think we should break up the franchise after this and do a
Yeah.
Godzilla movie, monster movie, Kong movie again.
Was this
But he
the
wants to do
same
another
direct?
team up movie.
Was this the same director of the last movie?
Yes. So we're in the
Um.
middle of the Adam Wingard trilogy. So he did Godzilla versus Kong, this, and he wants to do one more.
Wow. Okay.
But that's my general review. If you like monster movies, go watch it. The fights are worth it until at least until the only one I say is isn't that worth it? It's a final fight, ironically. It needed
we'll,
more time to
we'll
cook. Is
get
all I'm gonna say right now.
we'll get more
But
into that when we get
yeah,
there.
go ahead, Cryptid.
Okay. Okay. I mean, as for my general thoughts of this movie, last when it came to the last Godzilla vs King Kong movie, I mean, to me, I like that because it was just a giant monster movie. It, going on steroids with the fights and the actions between them, right? This one though, there are definitely some good fights, some good visuals. I don't think this dumbed down any of that. Maybe towards the end, we'll talk about that later. As for how I compare it to the last film, it's good, but not as good as the last film. But that's
Yeah,
just because it set a high standards for wanting to see a giant monster mash. Kong, I did like his storylines in this, though. There were definitely some hard moments I liked. Mini Kong, I always feel like you gotta go really good or really bad when it comes to chibi versions or sidekick characters, and thankfully in this movie, I was on the good side with Mini Kong. So I'll talk more about him later. But yeah, that's some
Uh,
general thoughts.
I guess that leaves me. So I thought it was an okay movie. I didn't hate it.
gross. You might well say mid.
Jake, you there?
Jake, you cut out.
Oh,
That's kind of
wow,
hilarious. That's
we
not.
silenced Jake.
You're telling me Adam Wingard
I
came
think
in
it was okay.
immediately and
I think
silent.
after I watched this,
Yeah. Kong silenced Jake. Did it do? Uh-oh. Okay. Hold on. He's coming back. Damn, this
that
is the
wasn't
Aquaman.
wasn't Adam
This is
Wingard. That was Godzilla. I'm sorry, my
this,
king. I'm Sorry.
This is Aquaman 2 all over again, Jake.
I thought it was. Listen, I thought the movie was okay. I think, like I said, as someone who liked the last movie, and someone who really liked King of the Monsters, I gotta say, I feel like this is like, and I don't mean this as negative as it would have been. I think this is the Thor 3 of this franchise.
Oh.
And then I think if this keeps going, we're gonna get a Thor 4, where everyone's gonna be like, I don't think I like this direction.
To be fair, I think we like Thor 4.
Hey.
We hated Thor 3. We like Thor 4. That's the weirdest thing.
What's the core of? What's the core of? What? Yeah, what's the core of Thor's mythos as opposed to the core of giant monster mashes? You know.
No.
I think the best benefit for this franchise. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
It feels like I realize that, but just so people know, I like Thor 4 more than Thor 3. Argue with your mom. I love that movie, but I don't love it. I'm sorry, I like it. Just
okay.
But I will say, I think it's like to the point where it's like they found something that worked in the last movie, and this movie doubles down on what it thinks is its strengths. And I think that if they keep doing that, then the next movie is going to be like the one people are like, wait a minute, this is too goofy. I don't like this anymore. You know what I mean?
It's a lack of control because the director and artist both said the last one, because of the last one's success, they had way more control over this one.
Yeah. I like everybody. I think I liked all the monster stuff. I thought the monster when the monsters were showing me the lore, I thought that was like cool. I thought the villains were lame. Second lamest. Maybe third.
It depends. I'd say, yeah, the first few don't really have personalities to say.
Right. And the skull crawlers, they're just there to kind of be like for Kong. That's like
yeah.
I like the big one. He was kind of funny.
Yeah,
but he slapped the guy with the grenade. I don't remember telling you.
Counting a Kong anime, I mean, they're under that villain for sure. That villain was just fucking funny.
Yeah, the Kraken probably my favorite villain.
But they're still not great villains. One I don't even think is a villain. Just to not bury the lead.
Yeah, one's not a villain.
You don't see a slave master as a villain. Wow.
No, he's a villain. He's just a terrible one. But as far as the humans go, and also Lizard before, I don't find the human stuff interesting. Now, just to be clear, I think there's a place for humans in Godzilla and giant monster films. I liked Godzilla minus one for the human plot. I thought it was great. And also, I'm a fan of Godzilla the animated show based off the terrible American movie we did. But that show was great. Fantastic Four meets Godzilla, and that was great too. So I think humans can work. It's just that other than the dentist guy, no one was really working for me. They all come across as boring. I wasn't really invested in the journey, and they might have been saying some cool stuff, but the presentation wasn't as like epic to me, or it wasn't as like interesting to me. So at the end of the day, I think it's okay. It's a good first watch, but it's probably the movie I'll come back to the least, unless if I need some background noise. I recommend if you like the monster movies, check it out once if you're invested in this universe. But honestly, if the next one is better than this, you could probably skip this. Maybe, who knows? I don't know. So
you still hear the noise?
No. So yeah, I think that's our spoiler-free thoughts. And so
can we get a rating?
Oh, I mean 6 out of 10. You know.
What's yours for this?
I'll give it an 8, but after time passes, I think I might just go down to either 7 or 7.5.
Oh, but you like it more to me. I'm in the middle. I gave it a 7.
Again, as time passes, because I've noticed with a lot of movies, like, you know, you just come out of the thrill of seeing it, but then as time goes on, you're like, oh, okay, maybe some stuff didn't age or wasn't as enjoyable as I thought it was, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, so now is our spoiler section. We're going to be spoilers. So if you care about spoilers, because I don't, get out of here. Yeah, so basically, I guess, or where do we start? I guess I'll put it down to this.
Let's start with the humans, so we won't have to talk about them anymore.
Okay, yeah. All right. I'm going to start with the biggest. threat of the
Yeah,
moment.
get it out of the way so you don't have to talk about it anymore.
I think the problem with the humans is just like they want you to go on an adventure with them, but it's so long-winded, and it's before you even get to see who the villain is. And I know that he's trying to set up this atmosphere of like Scar King. Oh my God, he's coming, but it's like, bro, I don't know this guy. I don't care. It's like,
The problem is they set up like a mystery, but we know what it's leading to the trailer.
Uh huh.
I think
That's like what the fuck.
I think it's okay.
I was about to say, as far as the humans go, there was actually one human in that group that I was interested in. That
We're talking about the
he's-
dentist. We know it. We know it.
No, I'm not talking about the dentist. I was actually talking about that one military guy. You know, the one who was piloting
Oh
the
my
ship.
god!
I was like,
You
yeah,
mean
I
that
was
over
like,
Kong? Yeah, that dude great.
Godzilla. From this movie, you know, the husky guy, the one who was like hard ass, the one who was, kept his mind
No,
on
we
the
don't know what you're
mission.
talking about. You're talking about a guy who had probably one line of dialogue.
You mean the one who got eaten by the tree?
Yeah, that's why I was a little bit upset that he got killed. I'm like, he's like telling that he's like
I didn't
telling
even
the
know what you're
whole
talking about. I've seen the movie twice now.
yeah, the guy who was piloting the ship. The husky guy?
Cryptid, I didn't like how
That doesn't help me.
I didn't like how he died because he only died just to be an asshole. Like they only did so they could kill somebody off and you not feel bad about it.
Dude, like I like the fact that the guy was like, you know, thinking in a serious sort of setting. Yeah, I don't want you guys walking around. You gotta keep your senses up to a 20 when you're out here in the center of Earth where everything could kill you. And wouldn't you know it, he's the only one who gets killed while all these other guys are just freely touching whatever. And even that dentist,
All these
even
other
that
guys who's been down here before him, by the way.
Even that dentist, he's when a mosquito came and bit him, he's like, "Oh, let me just let the mosquito bite him." I'm like, "Dude, no! You don't know what species of bugs are around here, or what your skin will carry to the rest of the hive." Like, well, no.
Because on Kong Skull Island, we learn like just because they look like the animals from before doesn't mean there's like not a more dangerous side to them. So for all he knows, that could have been worse than he thought.
No. But with a dentist, that's a part of his eccentric personality of setting up already. Though.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. And by the way,
let that guy be an idiot.
Yeah, like you remember when they go find that like little cocoon wall. What's their first instincts? Oh, let's touch it. Let's touch it. You know.
Well, no. To be fair, I let them have that one because we know because that's from Mothra, and they already have experience with that silk and wall from King of the Monsters.
But I do think Crypt is hitting on a point here. I do kind of wish the explorers kind of felt more like explorers, was less more like we're just tourists touching shit. I think that also would have
because they weren't explorers.
Right, no, but I wish they focused on that angle as opposed to just like the around, just like it would have made it more interesting.
No, I understand. I understand. I'm just saying, like from their point of view, they're just down here following this random signal. They're not really exploring anything, and they're just praying to God Kong shows up.
Yeah,
here's a question for you. Go ahead, Jake. No, go ahead.
I was gonna compare it to like even Peter Jackson's Kong. What I remember when they're on that island, it was just so cool watching them just like timidly go across, like trying to figure shit out. You know, I think that made it like more interesting. It's like, oh, what the fuck? You know, I think that added danger to it. That made it interesting to follow.
Yeah, that goes to Griffith's point though. That's more. I guess you're lucky. I guess that's more trained military. Where the random person experienced something for the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, for God's sakes, do you guys? Was there ever an explanation as to why they decided to bring that conspiracy theorist guy with them?
He just wanted.
There was a reason she went to find him in the movie, but I don't remember what it is right now. There was a different reason why they did though. It wasn't explained.
Yeah, she went to go find him for some reason, and then like he goes, and then she didn't want him down there, but he's like
he just pay him anyway, really. Yeah.
Which I think is a problem.
But she needed his tech and stuff to search he was used to help search for the scans. It was his technology to help them do that.
Yeah. Can we also talk about how this dude has like government conspiracy like live from the last movie, but he only has 100 subscribers? I was like, how terrible are you being a YouTuber Even
I think his camera got fucked up.
oh, did he just not have an image at all?
I think his camera got messed up. I think his camera got broken during when Godzilla got free.
Okay, I think because my problem with it was like if you have actual photo evidence, I don't care how much the government tries to censor you. If that got online after that incident, if you're a good enough YouTuber, that should be enough. It doesn't matter if it's real.
I don't think the government cares. They're like, oh, we got Apex as a scapegoat.
Nah, the government will say that this guy's just using AI. There you go.
Listen, that's fine.
No, because the government, it can't be blamed on the government because it's a rogue company, Apex. So I don't think they would care that much.
Yeah,
to be honest.
So that dude must be a terrible YouTuber, or maybe his camera broke. I just don't remember it. But yeah, I didn't like him. I thought we could just do without him. I thought the lady in charge, she was like so like I don't mean this in the traditional sense, but she was such a like I need tough dialogue to say type woman.
Yeah. That's like she was in the last one too. To be fair,
there was a scene where her like surrogate child is freaking out, and then like the teacher explained like, well, she can't be doing this because like it's really disruptive to the class, and and we're worried about her, and she's like, don't worry. I'm worried about her too. And I'm like, really?
Well, you don't exactly expect top quality acting when it comes to monster movies from the humans,
No.
I think -1 and Godzilla versus King Kong kind of spoiled us a bit on that.
I don't think so. What top notch acting was Godzilla versus King Kong?
Godzilla -1 though. Top tier.
Yeah.
That's like that what Shitty Guys was like the only two outsiders in there.
I think my problem with it was just like she's so into her character that it doesn't even come across as human when she's talking to other people. It just goes across as her.
That's she was in the last one too though. Which is like, oh, so it's like whoever bows, right? Is that what it is? Kong bows to no one. Like how the fuck you know?
Right. I feel like in that movie it was fine because of the people she was talking to. I feel like when you put her in a realistic scenario where your kid's freaking out at school and the teacher's trying to get with you and you're just talking.
Look. That teacher just doesn't understand that my child came from the cave with boxes of scraps on the island. Okay.
She's literally the last person of her kind in the world. So yeah.
The dentist guy, like I said, the dentist guy was fun. I think we need more characters like him because he's like just a caricature, and that's okay. And he goes well with like every scene he's in. I thought like that dude's.
I'm pretty sure the actor for that dentist guy, he was just happy to be in a monster movie. That's where it's from.
Dan Stevens.
Yeah, Dan Stevens. There you go.
He does a great job in the film. Like, so when he shows up and every scene he's in, even the final scene where he comes in and he helps save the day, I was like, this dude's fun. I don't care how stupid this is. He just sells it for me. So I need more characters like him if we're gonna keep the human cast around. As far as the little girl in this movie, they took away the one thing that made her interesting, which is like her constant interactions with Kong. So she just kind of there.
That's why I hated about it. Full on. That's why I think the human stuff didn't connect as well because they really just disconnected from Kong until like the last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They wanted her to be an independent woman. What can you say? We
don't need her to be independent, okay?
I think it would have been cool if maybe her and Kong went on an adventure and they met Zuko, the little monkey kid, and something like that. That could have been cool.
I kind of wish she met Zuko first. And Kong ended up following him there in a sense.
That's the little Kong's actual name, right, or what?
Yeah, that's his name.
Suko. It's
Zuko. Okay.
Of the Kong.
Well, he is the one and only red ape aside from the Star King, so yeah, he would be Prince.
He's not the only one.
There's one in the background.
Yeah, there's a lot of children apes there in that movie.
No,
in the background.
The other ones, weren't they just painted red?
No. They were actually like
painted red. No, they're actually red.
Okay.
Yeah.
All those children are Star King.
Yeah.
He has a whole harem of like apes in his. In that scene when you first see him and he's in the throne room, you see all the female apes crowded around him.
Yeah.
Oh.
We'll get to that. We'll get
Gotcha.
to that. Okay, listen,
But as far as the little girl goes, go
as
back
far
to
as
her.
little girl goes, I just thought she was there. Like without Kong there, like half her interesting character is just gone. So it's just, I don't know. You guys
Yeah,
go ahead.
like you know what I was kind of expecting. Like I know when they finally found her people, right? And then there was like this ruler figure that was about to pop up. I swear to God, I thought that was going to be her long lost twin sister because I remember there was a pair of twins in the original canon of Godzilla films. I thought they could have been making them
Y'all
after
can
that.
I don't know why y'all. The twins are Mothra twins,
Yes.
and second of all, I don't know why so many people see this little girl that was born and raised on a whole different island by a culture that's cut off from the underworld millions of years
They,
ago.
they
We're
had
gonna
to
suddenly have a twin sister in the underworld. I
they
see
had
that thing like 15 times.
they had to separate them to keep Mothra safe or
They
something.
couldn't get back there. That's the whole point. They were stuck on all Earth for.
We know there are hollow Earth portals in Skull Island, even though they pretend like there aren't. I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too, because Pretty might know something. But if that's all y'all got to say about the humans, we can go on to I guess Kong and Zuko.
Let's see. Were there any other humans to talk about? I guess we
Oh wait, I do want to say something. So with Dan Stevens, the dentist character, I do want to see more of this. In the sense of he has a kaiju Pacific job. I think that's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
He's a dentist only for Kong type animals, and I kind of want to see more of that. How more jobs are being created because of the tiny stuff. I think that's a cool aspect. That's kind of glanced over in the film.
That's my biggest problem with this universe post Godzilla King of the Monsters, because like I remember watching that movie. I thought like after that movie ended, I was like, man, I can't wait for the next one because the world must have changed with all these titans roaming around. You find out it's just the same planet. It's like nothing really looks like.
Yeah, they just told me and Kong, y'all just said go to sleep. They're like, okay, this is it.
How do you expect the world to change, Jay? Come on.
Well, no. Because if you watch the credits for that movie, they tell you how the world changed. Scylla being in the water somehow refroze the polar caps or something. But everywhere Behemoth goes, the grass and new plant life and crazy ass trees and shit are growing places. Like the world should look different, at least in some areas.
And also,
the mimic color for a little bit. They just don't for a reason.
The docile kaiju should just be walking around. Like I don't know why we don't see like more like kaiju just casually like in the seas or like
that's more because Godzilla doesn't let them. If you go by the comic,
but I wish the movie gave a little free reign to that, because I always took it as like Godzilla doesn't care until you start acting up. You know what I mean? That's how I always felt it was.
The comic when I read the comic today, that man said, "Look, if you're up here and you're not doing something that specifically helps the situation, you are going to die." Unless you leave. I was reading the comic while I was watching the movie with Jake. The comic is crazy because of Godzilla's mental state.
You know what? Kong's gonna have a whole long section. I just want to get Godzilla out the way. I love this dude in this movie, bro. Godzilla's my goat, bro. Like I love this version.
I'm gonna give Godzilla a long section. I was talking about the comic that connects to this book.
Man. Okay, Jake, you like the Rock of the monster universe. All right.
I like him because he comes across to like everybody else. He comes across as such an asshole for no reason. I mean, he has a reason for doing it, but if like you're just an outsider from that perspective, he comes across as such an asshole. He just like the first thing he does in this movie after beating a monster up is go into like a historic human building and sleep in it, and this is where I live now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, did you know why he fought Skilly to get in the movie?
Why?
So Skilly, for some reason, once he like gets really hungry, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna attack this power plant, and I don't give a fuck who stops me. I don't care if I do it to Godzilla. That's why Godzilla was so aggressive with it, because he already fought Skilly about this in the comic book.
Oh,
and that's why he immediately just grabs Skilly and throws it and kills it this time. Because he is playing around with it. He done spared it twice already.
Do you think Skilly was like, whoa, it was kidding.
It doesn't feel like. Speaking of that, he also fought Tiamat in that comic too. And it's like, godly, no wonder he's so out of patience for these monsters. Every time he feels like he just dealt one, another one starts acting up.
Yeah. So I like.
Yeah, some king he is.
I also like. Listen, he kills him. He knows what he got to do. He stands on business. All right.
Yeah.
Don't get twisted.
He who gives the what is it? He who gives the word sweeps the sword. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's up. It's hey, subjects don't do what he says. Apparently, that's all I'm hearing.
And since he's beaten Ghidorah, he's been on like the biggest W streak since then. Other than Mecha Godzilla, but
yeah, I was about to bring that up. Hey, let's not forget he was about to get killed until the real king came to save his ass.
Listen, but he still beat.
You say it like your guy didn't die,
right? Yeah, so, but no, he does what he has to do. He's like, he sensed there was a threat. He woke up and then he did the stuff he had to do to get ready for that fight. I was like, bro, this is cool.
Yeah, he's very directly. I do hate the power up now. I like it visually, but it honestly feels like there's no reason for it to be here once we go into the other monsters.
Yeah. I felt like he overpowered. I felt like he killed Tiamat for no reason to me. I felt like because he
killed Tiamat. He ate radiation from a power plant, and he did one more crazy thing. It was like you didn't really need to do that.
He killed Tiamat and slept in his house. He just started. I was like, bro. But that's why I like this Godzilla. He's an asshole. He does what he got to do. He don't give a fuck.
You want to talk about his improved fighting skills, Jake?
His improved fighting skills? Oh, he's a lot faster now. That's for sure. Yeah, he's just a lot faster. He's a lot more like vicious now. He's a lot more.
He's watching WWE. You feel suplex him, man?
Yeah, he's super. Yeah, he's just.
That wasn't even like a proper one. He bit him and grabbed his other arm with the other hand and flipped it over.
We also got our Kong versus Godzilla rematch. It wasn't really like a rematch because Kong wasn't trying to scrap, but it was it was fun to see. So.
And Kong didn't have his main weapon, all right? So.
Well, I mean, he
had a better weapon, really.
Better weapon.
He could have
not. You look, in Godzilla versus Kong, he could have knocked Godzilla down with a plank. Also, when he finally stabs Godzilla with the axe in the leg, it does nothing. Godzilla throws the axe away.
So he kind of needed this fist just to hurt.
Yeah, this fist knocking Godzilla to the floor is a vast improvement, skill wise. So if he learns how to use both, he could be a great contender.
Keep in mind, this was just a prototype that's budget got cut off. So likely when we get to the next movie, I want to see an upgrade. You're going to see an upgrade even more. Yeah.
No. They better not do that. That would be terrible.
I want to see an Ultra Godzilla, King Kong. You know, I want to see that.
That's not an Ultra King Kong. He already gets enough shit from people who think he needs humans for everything, and then you want to give him another power up.
I don't mind Kong having tools, but I don't need the humans. Like this is my
problem. I want him to make his own tools.
But this is my problem with Mechagodzilla in the last film. I didn't like the idea of humans making weapons that could beat Godzilla because that kind of goes against the point.
But that's what they always do with Mechagodzilla.
Right, that's what I was doing with Mechagodzilla. But usually Godzilla like wins in the end, usually on his own. So it's like, the fact that like he was about to die in the last movie, I was like, all right, that's a bit. You know what I mean? That's a bit much. And sometimes he does team up to fight Mechagodzilla. It was just never this like severe as it was in this movie.
He was praying to God. They didn't put his hand there and everything.
Yeah, he was like, God, please,
Mothra, please.
Yeah, so I never liked that. So I don't like the humans being able to make weapons like that. So I wouldn't want Kong to get another upgrade from humans. I'd rather him.
Well, we're getting it one way or the other. So. Brace yourself, guys.
He can make his own weapon.
No, they're not. They literally say the budget's cut off. They're not going to just randomly be like, "Oh, cut the budget back on."
Yeah, but then after they
saw anymore.
No. After they find out, like, another giant threat was about to kill both Godzilla and King Kong.
No. First of all, that threat was not about to do shit.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get it.
From the human perspective, they'll see it as that. Like,
I think Kong will reject it. I think him and his people are going to make some special weapon for their own ancestry. Because they already, if you look by their history, already been killing Godzillas before. I'm sure they have some special thing besides a fucking one scale and a stick to fight this guy with.
They haven't fought a Godzilla this strong before.
They don't need to. We're not just talking about fight Godzilla. I just mean in general. They have to have better weapons than an axe.
We got to get ready to fight Destroyer because that's the one that's going to kill Godzilla. Listen, that's the one time I need Godzilla to lose a fight. I need him to lose to Destroyer.
You're joking. I'm pretty sure when Destroyer shows up, he's going to kill both Godzilla and Kong. But by then, we'll already have Godzilla Jr. and Suko around.
Yeah. Let's see. But yeah, Godzilla was great. But we can go to Cryptid. We can go to your guy.
Yeah. Our American monster, our own giant kaiju audience. Yeah. King Kong.
It really shows how fat he is that he's American.
Hey, he's husky muscular build wise, Austin, all right?
That man is built like in-game Thor.
Cryptid, it's time for you, fanboy. What did you like about Kong?
I like the lore they went in with his people. Like, okay, yeah, he kind of feels a little sad being the last person, the last of his kind until he finds, his family. And, he finds Zuko. And I know, like, it could really go either way with sidekick characters, but dang it, the second I saw that King Kong was using Zuko as, like, a bat slamming into those other Kongs, I was like, okay, I like this kid already, And sometimes Big Brother has to remind little brother who's big,
I like that, too. I think what I liked about Kong, this will really submit to me as a character because we don't get to see him interact with the bigger kaiju because like usually Godzilla's already like dealing with them. So like I can see him interact with other people, especially his own species, because there's a moment in that fight where he tries to save one of the Kongs that try to like kill him.
Yeah.
And then Kong tries to backstab and Kong's like, all right, well fuck you. And they like I like that as lonely as Kong is, he puts his survival first. I thought that was a good character trait for him to have. So,
and we got to see him being ingenuitive. I mean, come on, remember like the opening scene where he was being tailed by those other giant monsters? They fell for his traps, literal handmade traps.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That handmade trap stuff is taking a lot of work to make his own improved weapon for the next movie.
Yeah,
a combination of both.
To do that type of stuff. And now he also has the other apes who's been around for 1,000 years before him, who probably has some knowledge in making shit.
Yeah. I like I also like Kong in this movie. I thought like this is the one that really like because I was okay with Kong. Like man, I had no beef with him. I just play that up because I like Godzilla more. But I think this is the movie where I was like, yeah, Kong's starting to be a king now. I use him some king shit. I like this guy. I finally like him.
He has a legion of his people to follow him.
Unlike
they're all ugly. Why are they so ugly?
They were slaves for their whole lives by this Scar King. Come on, man.
Not all of them. Some of them were his generals and stuff.
I'm sure real slaves groomed back in the day. I'm just saying.
Unless you tell me all the slaves were balding, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, they were working by They were forced to be working by magma. What can you say?
Heat, stress, no hair.
Yeah, he didn't give a crap.
They don't make it good. You know me? Out of all the crazy fidget stuff he can do here, he can make a good-looking monkey.
Nah, no, there's probably one in the back, and that's gonna be like a secondary character. The main character.
I want one where he has enough hair to swoop it.
Yeah.
Hey, all I know is that Scar King, he had the most hair out of that whole kingdom, and everybody else for obvious reasons,
That man had more hair than Zuko's mom. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Austin, what did you think?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Finish, Kirby.
Oh, okay. But now I kind of like how, damn, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, okay, yeah. I like the sadness that you kind of see with the rest of Kong's people, because when you think of giant apes, you think of Kong, and he's fierce, he's strong, he's big. But then you got to see another depressing side with being exemplified. With his other people, basically being slaves, to this tyrannical ruler, and damn, No,
yeah, I agree with that. Mm-hmm. It's funny because the first time Kong meets them, in the cave, he sees one getting abused and just helps him up, and the guy gets to his face, starts talking shit, and Kong just kills him one hit, and the guy legit dies apparently. That's his death scene.
That was sad, man. And you always see a big difference between Kong and the rest. Like everybody was like malnourished, was scrawny compared to like the bulkiness that Kong was.
Yeah, that had to be from lack of food.
Yep. Tell you, it's
Yeah,
a sad side. But thankfully they have their king to come and take care of them now.
yeah. Um, yeah. Like I said, I think Kong was handled great. I just kind of want like to take a break from. I think Kong's in a good place. Let him rest. I think it's time for Godzilla to get his shine back. That's all I'm saying for next
He
time.
has multiple movies in the future. How often does Kong get his own movie?
Kong
Kong has multiple movies too.
has
The
technically
problem is,
3 films.
in both tag team movies, Kong is at the bulk of the story.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Godzilla's only had 2 films. He needs a third. He needs his own. He needs to remind people why he got it. So,
Okay.
But I think we talked enough about Kong. I think it's time we talk about the
I
Fraud
talk about
King.
Kong.
Scar King.
The Scar King.
The Fraud. God.
Oh.
This is like one of the worst villains I've ever seen.
Wait, like worse as in a crappy villain, or worse as in like, this guy's so evil.
He could have been that. He could have been the latter, but he's really the former. He's just
He's not really that evil. He's just kind of a bitch.
How did you feel about Scar King? You go first.
Okay, there's a disclaimer, audience. Like, I only watched one trailer of Godzilla X Kong, right? Because I don't usually watch trailers for movies I'm excited for, but in this case, I made an exception. But as far as I was aware, right, I got Scar King was going to be the one villain in this whole movie, and I'm thinking to myself, okay,
Oh my
this
god, he played himself.
Yeah, I mean, I was like thinking, oh my god, there has to be something devastatingly powerful about Scar King to have both King Kong and Godzilla to both gain power ups to go up against this guy. I was a little let down, but then after we got to see the other companion to his side, okay, now I saw what they were going for. They were going for like anti-version counterparts of both King Kong and Godzilla. Okay, I see what they were going.
I just think they did it terribly.
They
But
could have done more.
Did you fully understand the lore that they gave you in the film?
The lore of what? The other
Of
guy.
Star King and stuff, and how it connects to like the lore from the other movie they set up already.
I didn't see any compare and contrast, but go ahead, explain.
Okay, so the original timeline was that the whole race of Kong's people were going to war with the whole race of Godzilla's people, and they kind of mutually wiped each other out. And some Kong people escaped to Skull Island, where they were, finished off by the Skull Crawlers, basically.
Yeah.
With Scar King, they introduced the idea that he's the kaiju who started the war, but apparently he didn't have Shibu at the time. So apparently him and these monkeys, and the lady specifically says that him and all the Kongs that was with him in that cave, it took all of them to almost kill Godzilla. And then Godzilla sealed them in that mountain. The mountain that got unsealed again this movie. So they changed it from all the Kong's race, basically killed off all of Godzilla's race, to it took all of them to basically beat this one Godzilla. Before they got sealed away this mountain. And while he was in this mountain, he somehow found Shimo, who I guess was just sleeping here, and somehow got control over it with this crystal they don't explain in the film.
Now I got a question. What's the longevity of Kong's species? Because you're talking about hundreds of thousands of years in the past that this happened, didn't it?
Apparently all types can live. Shimo apparently is 3 million years old, and apparently all types can live up to millions of years.
Oh wow! Okay.
I'm gonna tell you my problem with Scar King right now. It's that this dude is like such a fraud, and, and that would be okay. And that would be okay, but the movie doesn't give me enough of him to really sell that. Like, if he wanted to be Starscream, I would have been okay with that. Just like a guy who just talks.
The people don't know. Scar King don't show up in the movie until literally like 10, 20 minutes after the halfway point.
Yeah.
So he shows
I
up.
will admit, I did
He
see
gets
the warning signs when, like, we're over halfway into this film and we still haven't really seen Scar King pop up.
so he shows up. He gets into a fight. I mean, he has a very like fun
Yeah.
scene where he's
Him
introducing
versus
himself.
Kong is a great fight. It's just agile
Mhm.
versus power.
Right.
The
Yeah.
problem is he
Right.
immediately bitches out like, hold on. This nigga real. And he calls in his Godzilla pit to fight.
Audience who hasn't seen this movie but doesn't care about spoilers,
There's way
like,
too late for
they have
that.
yeah, he's fighting Kong. Kong's on his he's fighting Kong. Scar King's on his back. Kong gets the upper hand and throws him. And Scar King's like, whoa.
Wait, to be fair, he doesn't immediately start freaking out, but the people try to jump in. He immediately puts his hand out like, no. Y'all can't handle this. All right, calm down. Y'all, this ain't the move.
Let me get my God out. My God. Let me summon God. So I was like, man, this is such a bitch. And then the problem is that's all you get him.
Well, no, the personality, that's the only thing you get. Because after this, when he gets to the final fight or fighting Godzilla sealed him in his cave, this whole race. And then when Jake pointed this out, when Godzilla shows up down in the underground for the first time in like potentially millions of years, I can learn how old this is. He doesn't give a fuck. He don't say anything. He just makes a face for like 2 seconds. And he's like, this is the guy who sealed you down here. The whole thing you're gearing up to fight, and you don't give a fuck.
Yeah, Scar King doesn't have any regard for Godzilla at all, despite like this whole fight being about them. And that's why, like, the first time around, I didn't even pick up on the fact that like they were rivals. I was just like,
he was just confident in the power he had, with his frozen kaiju,
Yeah, no, I get that. It's just I just wish that.
Yeah, so you've been trapped for a million years making a plan, trying to make a comeback, and the guy who cut you shows up. I think you say something, do something. He even in the fight scene when they're running at each other, he don't try to go at Godzilla, he goes at Kong.
Yeah, it would have been nice if like you got a little scene like where they're charging at each other, and because Scar King's riding Shimo, like he gets up and he looks at Godzilla, he does like a little nod and a smile, like hey, like you know what I mean? Like
they could have gave him the hey auntie scene.
Yeah.
So,
and then in the final fucking fight, this fraudulent man, the moment he loses the crystal that controls Shimo, he turns complete bitch and is scrambling for his life.
I wouldn't even say that's the worst part. The worst part is that this fight, people don't know this fight is only 5 minutes long. It was the shortest monster fight we ever had, by the way. For the comparison, the final fight between Godzilla Kong and then Godzilla Kong and Mechagodzilla is like literally almost 40 minutes together.
Yeah.
But
which is weird because Adam Wingard was saying that the fight was going to be long, like the longest one for the MonsterVerse. I think that's what he said. Or something.
I think he's including the other part. And I don't know. I think he's cutting out segments or something. I don't know. This man don't make sense to me. But the thing I bring it up, this whole final fight, he doesn't try to fight Godzilla once. He tries to jump Kong with Shimu the whole fight to the point that Godzilla done snuck Shimu like 15 times because he keeps calling Shimu to fight Kong because he's that scared of a 1v1.
Hey, he just wants to get rid of Kong before he could double team Godzilla. That was his plan,
I really wish like there was some like it's a tag team match. So I kind of wish like they did some like dynamics where like maybe like they tried fighting him the first time, but because like poor communication between Godzilla and Kong, because they're not used to
fighting. This man won the Spider-Man 3 thing.
Right. I want to see where they're like losing at first, and then Kong's like, "Wait, Godzilla, we have to work together."
You're not used to being on a team. I'm on the Avengers.
Yeah. What's that? So I wanted like some tag team moves with Godzilla and Kong working together, and then maybe they knock the crystal out of Scar King's head. Scar King's like, "What? No!" And he's like,
"What I wanted was the very least them to switch up fighters for a minute. I want to see Godzilla versus Scar King and Kong versus Shimu, and not just Scar Kingdom versus Kong, until the 2 seconds he fights Godzilla, and then gets scared for his life. Okay.
Mhm.
And that would have been funny too, because we could already just kind of played into each other. Because maybe Godzilla is like so focused on Scar King, is like, just fuck this guy. Like he keeps trying to interrupt Kong's fight to fight Scar King, so Kong keeps getting left with Shimo, and that's fucking Kong up. And he's like, Godzilla, you have to stop. You have to. You're fucking me up.
But Brendan, the biggest thing. Oh, I'm my bad.
That was basically it. I just wish like
the biggest thing me and Jake talked about. I do think Godzilla should have fought Shimo before the power up. Because he powers up all this. He does all this shit in the background to get strong enough. Because from Godzilla's point of view, all these monkeys jumped him and almost killed him last time he fought them. So now he's gearing up to try to wipe out the whole race. He doesn't know about Shimo right now. He don't know Shimo's in there, from my understanding. So he's like, he's thinking he's about to fight an army of monkeys by himself. And that's also why he was so pissed when he saw Kong show up. He's like, this nigga gotta be with him now. I know he's with them now. But it's like, you did all this, and it's like, I don't think it was anything. Because there's not one moment in this fight, when Godzilla was fighting Shimo, that they hurt each other. There's one moment where Godzilla almost freezes to death. But he gets saved by Mothra, who we have to talk about. But other than that, him and Shimo are playing like tag or footsie or something. Because they don't hurt each other once. They're not a scar. They're not bleeding or anything. They're not even beam class. This fight was terrible.
Okay, I'll admit they could have done more work on that Shimo fella right there.
I will say though, the ending was funny. I always like when the giant monsters just turn into like normal people out of nowhere. Like they're in the middle of the fight and they're like tag teaming on a Scar King, and Kong holds them in the air. And Godzilla looks at Shimo, and Shimo's like, "What do you want me to do? Kill him!"
Okay.
And then Kong just like,
happy to know you guys found enjoyment in Kong killing his red skull.
Yeah, I like, because I think those are the fun parts of the team up fights. When you get to the end, out of nowhere, they go from being these giant monsters just like normal people. It just feels
they're really calling out tacking moves. Kong grabs Scar King, and they got little screams at him, and he throws them to him. It's like they're planning this. We need a good theme song.
Yes. So I like that. Another scene I also like, I think this is my favorite scene in the Monsterverse because it's such a small detail, but Mothra coming back and Godzilla having a reaction.
He looked at her like, you are beautiful at the day I lost you. He immediately calmed down.
Oh, man.
Because it was so nice seeing Godzilla be so angry the whole movie, and he's like about to kill Kong, and he's like, "You son of a bitch!" And then Mothra shows up like, "Godzilla, you must stop!"
Yeah.
Godzilla's like,
"Okay, bow down to your queen, Godzilla."
What did you think of the final fight? Because me and Jake kind of dominated this whole section.
Again, I didn't think the last fight was all that cracked up. I mean, I've seen better final fights when it came to the last film. And it'll be a fun clip. I mean, I wanted to see Scar King really utilize that spine whip he has.
He has I think called a whiplash, I believe, Jake. We thought at some point.
Now, was that the spine of a skull crawler or a Godzilla?
It's not explained.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I thought that would have been that was a cool weapon of choice for him to use, and I really wanted to see how powerful he could be with that. But he had some good tricks. Smacked a few people, but
he was just agile. Really, he was just agile. Yeah. That's all he had.
Which is another aspect to work on with a kaiju, So
yeah.
I have noticed that I just realized that anytime a Kong species has like a weapon that isn't like their fucking fist, Godzilla is just not fazed by it. I just realized that because in the first movie, in Kong versus Godzilla, he hits it with the axe, or he tries to use his axe. It doesn't really do anything.
To be fair, it wasn't charged up when he did it.
He stuck the axe down Godzilla's throat. He was phased there, Jake. Come
He
on.
lost.
He stopped. No,
It didn't
he
help him. He
stopped Godzilla from shooting his atomic breath with that move, Jake. Don't downplay it.
But he
Don't
died.
downplay that move,
But he
man.
I mean, when he died, I'm just saying, like, it did help at the end. It just he still lost with it. And Godzilla eventually disarmed him. He just like, get the shot here. What the fuck? Yeah. And then he just beat that out of him. And then Star King tried to whip him, and then Godzilla just caught it, threw it away, and he was like, "All right, now bitch." I'm just saying, don't put weapons on Godzilla.
No, just use better weapons. Make brass knuckles and shit. Stop
Oh
doing
no,
knives and shit.
just use human-made weapons since that worked really well with Mecha Godzilla, Jake.
No, the biggest thing with Kong already is people hating him for getting all this human help. Give him more human weapons. Not going to help his character. It's just going to make people more mad at him. He's the kaiju who needs help. If you want to keep doing that.
Hey, he's a kaiju that fights for America.
No, if anything, Godzilla fights for America. He stayed in America more times than Kong has in this franchise.
Sure. I think Mechagodzilla, as much as I don't like the idea of how he was made, I mean, he was a very effective anti-Godzilla. Like everything he had was a good counter for Godzilla. So I give it to him. But yeah, I just I thought the villains of the movie were not that great. I just thought that Shimo wasn't a villain, so it's kind of like she was just kind of.
That's the most anticlimactic part. I kind of wish Shimo was the bigger bad. Like they saved her, like with the super breaking the crystal. But you realize actually the Scar King was holding her back. And she's like, nah, that's just done now.
And then Mothra, Godzilla, and Kong have to team up on her together. And that's how they form it. So also Mothra's in this film and the great scene and all, but like she doesn't do anything.
I don't like the addition to Mothra's lore in this movie. Because we not only do we not get the Mothra twins, but they already set up in King of the Monsters. Because the current day Mothra twins work for Monarch right now for a bit. That was in that movie.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, this random tribe had a prophecy that some random girl from a different tribe that left us 1,000,000 years ago is just gonna come here one day and wake up Mothra. Like, why? That's the Mothra twins now. Why have to wait for her specifically? Why did Mothra care that she's from a different tribe? I love this tribe that left the works of Godzilla. That didn't have anything to do with Mothra anymore.
Also doesn't make. Also, there's like in Godzilla King of the Monsters, the egg. They already found an egg at Mothra's place, and it should be with Mothra.
We assume that it's Mothra, but they make a big deal say or something else. So unless they do a Mothra film and they introduce Batra, it's like you just didn't care about the egg anymore.
How did you feel about Mothra? Cryptid?
She was there. What can I say? I mean, the headliners were King Kong and Godzilla.
But Batman and Superman headlined a movie, but Wonder Woman did.
She stopped the other 8 from jumping into the portal to come help Scar King and shit.
You know what Wonder Woman could have done, Jake? She could have used her invisibility powers and all the powers she had from the 80s.
She could have did Jake. She could have took the spear and let Superman help the rope.
Yeah. the person who's not with the kryptonite probably could have.
It probably wouldn't have pierced her if she did it.
Right. I think at the end of the day, I think this movie it's okay. It's like the least. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the least.
No. I would say
it's interesting. The first movie.
What?
Nah, this is better than
the first Godzilla movie.
Yeah, I wanted to say that. I would say the first Godzilla in this Mothraverse saga was the weakest out of them all. Yeah. So.
Ironically, I kind of put the Monsterverse in the same order it came in, with like Godzilla and Kong, the first two. So, as much as I like the Squirrel, they're not really villains. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I'll put this movie over that. I'll watch this again before I watch that. Because it's more fun. Yeah. But I still think King of the Monsters is like the top movie in the franchise. And then Kong, Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah, I want to talk about that too. We kind of alluded to it in the spoiler-free review. I don't like the sense of scale in this movie. I think like the monsters just look too like they don't look normal size. Like I could tell they're big, but they don't look like gigantic.
They don't
It's
feel
like when I
larger than
watch
life
like
anymore.
Is it because
yeah,
is it
they
because they
look
don't
like
have like built giant skyscrapers to compare sizes to?
Nah, it's the
yeah.
directing
I mean,
style of this person.
Mm.
yeah. I think they look more like Transformers. They look more like Optimus Prime size to me, like in a lot of shots. I'm just like, which is fine. He's
Mm.
big. It's just Optimus doesn't look larger than life in a lot of scenes to
Mhm.
me. In a lot of these movies,
They-
unless they really emphasize it. You know, and I think that kind of hurts the movie a little bit for me as well because I think Godzilla X versus Godzilla King of the Monsters, well, it doesn't have a lot of interesting human characters. I was still interested in the humans just because I was so invested in learning like what the fuck is going on with these like mystical monster people. You know what I mean? Like I was like, that's kind of why I like to hear what the humans had to say, just so I could get an interpreter. You know, but in this movie, it was like I like the monsters, but like I don't really care what these people have to say. They pretty much get all of
Mhm.
them, you know. You know, I don't know. I just feel like this director is not really great at capturing that. I think even Kong Skull Island, from my memory of it, captured the scale of Kong a lot
It
better.
did.
Because I think Austin had to tell me that Zuko was apparently the size of Kong from that movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
What?
Zuko from this movie is
No.
bigger than Kong. Yeah, Zuko from this movie is a few meters bigger than Kong from King of the Monsters.
No way. I gotta look back at that. But
Yeah,
huh.
you can look it up.
Okay,
It just
okay.
I was letting the scale and stuff go because Hollow Earth is scaled to them.
Hmm.
So in Hollow Earth, they should look like regular height in a sense,
Yeah.
unless they're by human.
Uh-huh.
So even when they got to the city, and Zuko's like he towers over some buildings, but because how Kong and King of the Monsters trade heights, it doesn't seem like he's big.
Yeah.
Kong in that movie was still bigger than mountains. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And well, he wasn't really, but he was still as big as some of the mountains there.
Yeah.
And you know, like Zuko's
And
bigger than that. But because you film like this angle where you're looking like from Zuko from like Kong's point of view, Zuko looks like he's like a barely building Kong in some of these scenes.
Yeah.
And I think it also goes to show like because we just rewatched King of the Monsters as well. Like that movie went out of its way to just like show you how big these characters are. They had like scenes like the one where like Ghidorah's on the fucking volcano, and they show you how big he is compared to the volcano in his wingspan. It's like this really like horrifying looking image of like just Ghidorah just towering over this entire fucking valley. And you just realize like Jesus Christ, this dude's like enormous. Or when Godzilla and Ghidorah have the samurai standoff, basically, or when they have the humans try to shoot up at like the monsters attacking them in one shot as well. That movie took such care into showing how big and large these characters are. So when they fought, like you felt like these were gods amongst men. But now I feel like I'm just watching like Transformers hit each other. Transformers, it's cool, but it's not
Every fight is filmed from a lower angle or an angle from a person. So you immediately see a person in the point of view in every scene of Monsters and King of Monsters. Like the Rodan scene. Every scene is filmed from an angle that's like right behind or in front of a jet. Or if a person ejects, it's like from like if when a person shot out of his jet, it was still filmed from lower than that person. So he flew into Rodan's mouth, still see the sense of how big Rodan is, and like every scene that part. I guess that's what it said.
Yeah, I think get to the end, you get to the idea that Godzilla might lose this fight. You're like,
Oh yeah, could I looked it up for you just so I can tell you. Kong in Skull Island is 104 feet. Zuko is 149.
Oh god damn.
So he's not just a little bit bigger; he's a lot bigger.
Damn.
Yeah, so he's going to be the biggest Kong. Period.
Okay, well, it's just you know what? I see a little seed of a good plot going forward in the future because I don't think we discussed in-depthly on Zuko's. Have we?
No,
we didn't. You know, we have time. We should do that.
I feel
What do
like
you think?
he has what it takes to be like the next protege of Kong. Like, if we do see him like in the future growing up bigger, like, being trained under tutelage of King Kong, like getting his own weapon, this and that. I definitely would like to see like a kaiju, growing from the
Chris,
bottom up to, Godzilla level
Chris,
fighting capability.
that's the whole point of this movie. This movie was originally supposed to be Son of Kong.
Wait, it was supposed to be what?
This movie, the movie that came out right now that we just watched, was supposed to originally be Son of Kong, and then they turned it into a Godzilla movie, a Godzilla crossover movie.
Ah, okay.
That's what I feel like. That's why I think Shimo and other stuff feels like so out of place. Because
Hmm.
we knew from the last movie they announced that Son of Kong was supposed to be next. It was in all the leaks. It was in all the stuff. That's how we knew about it beforehand. Because me and Jake
Hmm.
have been talking about this.
Yep.
But
Okay.
Yeah, I like I like Zuko because I like that I thought he was just gonna be the kid who just sees Kong, Kong sees him, and then start
yeah.
bonding and all this stuff. But he was actually kind of a little shit. Actually,
Oh,
like,
what
it's
little
kind of
kid? What little kid wouldn't act like that? Raised in the environment he's in.
yeah, well, he comes from a terrible environment, and he's just shocked that Kong shows him such compassion. He's like, you know what, damn, bro, this dude's
He
Hmm.
was
tough.
like, oh, this guy's a
He's
bitch.
nice.
I gotta get this guy killed.
He shows
Yeah,
no fear. I mean, like he bit Kong, man, despite getting an ass whooping. You know.
you get why
Well, he got the ass whooping
without
after that.
any real
Yeah, that's why I was like, he took it, man. I don't know how many toddlers could take the beating that Kong gave him like that.
To be fair, he's somehow bigger than a teenage Kong.
Uh, but
But you without any dialogue, you understand how Zuko comes to appreciate
mhm.
Kong and why he wants to protect him.
I
Or
mean,
wants to protect him as Kong protects
yeah.
Zuko.
I'm,
So
hey, you know what else could be cool? We could see a version of Scar King, the full capabilities of that version of Kong be met through Zuko when he gets older.
You better hope this dude don't have to like build a Star King with the bulk of Kong.
Hey, he
Just
could be
lanky and buff.
agile. Yeah, I want to see that. Come on, he has to separate himself from Kong at some aspects. I mean, they're two different types of apes.
yeah. But yeah, that's I think it's terrifying in the movie. I think we settled our thought. Unless you guys
Nah. So I
Thoughts for the
do.
future?
Well, going for it, yeah. Thoughts for the future, and I do kind of hope. When it comes to Zuko, because of Zuko, I do kind of hope the next movie, which Adam Wingard said his next crossover film would be more Godzilla centric. I do kind
Mm-hmm.
of hope we get Godzilla Jr. So like I said, I do think you
Ooh.
should end this franchise with Destroyer killing both the main Godzilla and the main King Kong, and having King Zuko and Godzilla Jr. take over. That's like I think that's how you end this franchise properly.
Cryptid, do you know how Godzilla died in one of the timelines? Like the first time he
How?
actually died. They in the first Godzilla movie ever, they killed him, quote unquote, with a bomb called the oxygen bomb, which they did in this
Yeah.
timeline already. They already shot him with it before. And so the bomb radiates the fish, and the fish become a monster over time that evolves into a creature known as Destroyer. And it starts as this little tiny monster, like this little tiny like monster hive, and then they grow together into a bigger monster, looks like the fucking devil, basically. And Godzilla has to fight this thing, but this thing is like so fucking strong. This is his doomsday, basically. He's going to die by this fight, basically. And Destroyer nearly kills his son. And so Godzilla, with his last breath, manages to beat Destroyer, but he's also gonna like self-destruct and overheat to death. And so the humans have to put Godzilla down before he can blow up all of Japan, basically. And through the ashes of his body, as he disintegrates into mist and dust, you hear his roar one last time, and through the mist, you see his son, Godzilla Jr., take the reins as king of the monsters, basically.
But the oxygen bomb that Jake talked about happening King of the Monsters, and we also see the dead fish rise up and potentially be radiated. So it seems like the groundwork for Destroyer is already set up if they want to go that route.
Yeah.
No, I think the next movie is
Yeah.
more going to be Alien Invasion. Fact, we still need the moment where Godzilla gives the alpha cry and all the monsters, like destroy all monster seeds in this universe. I do think he needs to give the alpha call and all the monsters start fighting. And to do that, I think the next movie needs to be the Gigan Invasion. Gigan is like the guy
Right.
god, whatever the fuck. Okay, look, it's the alien with like it's like a what kind of alien you said it is? What kind of thing is this?
It's a robot chicken with like a mantis metal claw.
But it had a buzzsaw in the middle of his stomach. I'll show you a picture.
Okay.
No, you're laughing, but Gaga's a big deal. Gaga's a big deal because there's an army of them, and they're all decently strong. They're all pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah, like Godzilla has a history with aliens, so I kind of want to see the legendary universe tackle aliens with modern technology. Also, that's what Ghidorah comes from. Also, Ghidorah's an alien anyway, so just saying like, hey, we shot Ghidorah over here to take over your planet, but like he didn't do it. So
how Ghidorah died twice? Why do we have no record that he died twice, huh? Look, I just tried
that would have been.
Look at that. That's probably the best guy gun for me.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've seen this one before. Yeah, I was expecting an actual chainsaw to come out of his chest, Austin.
Well, it works like a buzzsaw. I said a buzzsaw.
Okay, buzzsaw. All right.
Yeah, but yeah, there's like so the alien invasion plot. I feel like if we're gonna do another crossover, I guess I feel like Godzilla and Mothra should be able to take care of an alien invasion. I'm just saying.
Nah, not really.
Unless you're gonna bring the Kong army.
No, I'm saying if you're doing it, you do the alcohol. It's gonna be a Gigan invasion of the world.
I guess so. I'm talking about back in the old.
Bro, we're not talking about those overpowered people. We talking about this universe got actual threats. Okay, these are actual threats to Godzilla. And you're telling me like more than 20 are coming. I just want it because all the other monsters we have, most of them have not had an actual fight scene on camera yet. Like Behemoth, the other Muto that we have now, and like 3 other ones for King of Monsters, just don't have a fight scene at all in this universe yet. So I think seeing the Kong army, Godzilla's army, all that work together to stop the Gigan invasion, I feel like that would be a big deal. The problem is, I do think it'll be too goofy.
And the final battle will be Space Godzilla.
I don't know. I would say save that for I think you do Gigan, you do the Red Gigan, it's the main one, and you just say Space Gigan for Godzilla solo movie.
Oh. I was thinking I was thinking we end this while like not the video, but I was thinking we end like the universe before it gets stale. So I was thinking we just do the alien shit now, and then the next movie we do Destroy and wrap it up. I think because I'm constantly worried. After this movie, I'm constantly worried that the next one's gonna.
That's what's gonna be the guy's last one. That's why I want him to do Gigan. I don't want him to waste Space Godzilla because based on this move.
I was going to say, you don't want to see Godzilla enter the multiverse of Godzillas like the comics did.
But like I think you do the Gigan invasion. Do you give Kong, Godzilla, and potentially Mothra one more solo film? How do you end it with the Destroyer film?
Yeah, I'm willing to cut it off early, but if they can make it work for 3 films, I think that's fine. I just.
I want the next one. This guy's last one. I think it'll be okay.
Yeah. As long as it keeps it cheap too, and it makes money back. That's the best thing you can hope for. But yeah, all right. That was Godzilla versus Godzilla X Kong.
Oh yeah, poor Suko's mom. She deserved what she got.
She did what she had to do, man. All right.
All she did was protect their son. She got kicked in the lava.
Yeah, probably not. But listen, she was adopted by a king. He was adopted by a king, so it's okay.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah, we didn't talk about that. She was basically Kong's pet now.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna be his queen of the monsters, but he started petting her and shit. I was like, bro, come on.
Yeah, yeah. Look who has the kingdom under his lead.
This man has a pet dog here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got the anti-Godzilla as my pet, as my hound dog.
Listen, I don't bring. They gotta stop cooking up new monsters. Just goddamn pay Japan, bro. Like, cause this is what you're gonna do with their new monsters. Like, I'm good. I'm good.
And you're saying that, but if they paid for the monster or other monsters, they just did the same thing. They did it, so it's the same. It'll be the same plot.
You think they would have done Anguirus as dirty as Shimo? I don't think so. I think
And Garrett's worse. And Garrett sucks.
Well, he can turn him to a ball. He does a little ball. And he like hits people. That's a pretty cool. So
no, I think that did Garrett's worse. And you want to try to convince these people that Garrett is a goddamn level up worthy threat?
We make him bigger. We make him better.
Mm-hmm. You get him tricked out by human technology.
That evil Apex.
Yeah. All right, audience. I mean, yeah. Oh, we forgot to plug in our socials. Well, just follow us on Comic Phanatics 69 on Twitter or X, and that's as far as I remember our socials, audience.
Comic Fanatic. No, stop doing that. Comic Fanatic 2.0 on Instagram. And which _of _Yodenhai on TikTok.
Yes.
Yay! Finally, somebody else has a job besides me.
I do it every time.
Okay. All right then. With that, audience, we'll see you in the next time. Bye.
Go Godzilla!